Okay, I'm just gonna read comments from this video. I'm single and it can be lonely at times, but it makes me grateful when I see other people's toxic relationships. Oh my, yes. That's how I feel. Anytime, like, I get people or family members or friends or people try to make comments or like, oh, you must be lonely or sad that you're not in a relationship or whatever. I look around and then I just see I've seen a lot of relationships, whether it's familial relationships or friends who are in relationships with people, and I just see certain things and I'm just like, I'm so glad that I'm not having to deal with that. I'm so glad I don't have that burden. Um, I don't know, like I just look around at other people and I realize I'm content to be single right now. I really am. I have known so many unhappily married people, I can't count them. Yeah, very true. People always are quick to say if you're single, you're unhappy, or if you're single, you're lonely or whatever, but you don't necessarily have to be single to be lonely. You can be in a relationship and be lonely. If you're with, let's say, for example, there's this girl, I'm just going to call her Anna, and she has a boyfriend. I'm going to call him Derek. I don't know, I'm just making up generic names. And let's say Anna feels constantly dismissed or either controlled or ignored by Derek, and Derek doesn't ever acknowledge her feelings or take any advice or suggestions from her. That would feel very alone and isolating. Or and it can go the other way around. It can be the boy, sometimes it can be the man, sometimes it can be the woman. But the point being, there's a lot of people who are in relationships who still feel lonely or are not very happy or satisfied in their relationships. So that's something that when people say, oh, you must be lonely or unhappy, I'm like, being single, I'm just like, well, there's a lot of people who get divorced or people who are in marriages or relationships where they're constantly bickering or fighting or unhappy with each other. So that comment really is kind of stupid. When a man is unmarried, they say he is incomplete. When he is married, they say he is finished. I don't want to marry someone else's problems. Yes, I don't want to marry someone else's problems. I mean, unfortunately, whoever you marry, there's going to be problems to some extent. Some might have more problems than others, but it just depends. It varies. Imagine getting off work, going home to drama. No, thank you. Alone literally means all one, which means you are whole. Been single for 9 years and recently got involved with a woman and said no. Going back to being single is better. Peace and quiet and clarity is so much better. Love it. I've been settled down for 21 years, settled down single since I was 40. Had enough of the fake, shallow relationships, especially with the Western women of today. Done with it all, peace and quiet at my time of life. Can't equal it. Happy wife, happy life. Have you ever met a happy wife? Neither have I. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's good. I love being single. I enjoy my freedom. I'm 50 years old, never been married with no kids. I date at my own leisure, go where and when and with whom or on my own. I do not feel the need or want to be in a relationship because it is a threat to my singleness and peace of mind. That's a whole other thing too. People who are in a relationship, okay, I'm gonna say marriage. I'm just gonna say marriage because I guess if you're in a, I guess it can be pretty serious when you're in a relationship not married, but once you're married, it's kind of like you're kind of like obligated. Oh, this is my wife or this is my husband, and I have to do all these things, and I have to be tied down. I have to work around them, and we have to work our schedules together. And then especially once kids are involved, if the married couple has kids, like you're not going to have any time to do anything you want. You're going to be taking care of your man or your woman. You're going to be taking care of your kids. And what little free time you have, you'll probably just be so tired you don't want to do anything. So I see all these people, whether they be people in my church or friends or family, and I see they have kids, and I'm just like, I see how much they have to deal with, and I'm like, I'm just getting a little tiny glimpse of this. I couldn't imagine actually living with this or doing this. And I'm just like, I'm so happy I'm single. Singleness equals freedom. 100%. Yep. Ever notice how married people push marriage on single people, but single people don't push being single onto others? Yeah, that's a very true and accurate statement. But then you get some married people that tell you don't marry because it's a bunch of BS. And I've heard that too. I've heard some married people say, "Oh, just stay single. You'll enjoy life more." So people are always going to be mixed. But I'm settled down. Why aren't you married? I haven't finished being happy yet. I'm single, never married, 71 years old, nice home, pension, social security. Well, I don't know what pension is anymore. That doesn't exist. This person is clearly old enough to actually get pension. Social security, nice brokerage account, 3 or 4 international trips a year. Couldn't be happier. Don't wait till after your third marriage to figure this out like I did. I am sure happy now. Being single can help you explore more and achieve more and more things, less stress and more enjoyment. Marriages and relationships are just a mirage which make you feel like there is something out there. Yeah, again, you can just pretty much, when you're single, you can kind of decide things for yourself and do what's in your best interest, and you don't have to answer to anyone else. You just kind of do you and do what brings you happiness and what brings you fulfillment. I had a married man at work come up to me today and said, "I wish I had your life. I'm divorced for 5 years and having the time of my life. I can take a nap on weekends as many times as I want. Um, um, 58 and forever a bachelor. Uncle Bill warned me at 18 to never marry. I listened. I watched the majority of my friends get divorced, raped, and 3 commit suicide per this. Wow, okay, dang. Enjoy your life and freedom. Even when there's no drama, I don't like having to plan activities for 2 people and have to adjust my schedule and make time to hang out with her. I don't want to have to meet her friends and family. The sex even gets boring after a while. No, I'm happy being alone." Some of these people are getting very descriptive with their comments. I ended up single by default, got hit with ulcerative colitis at 20, knew then having kids was not smart, had no ability to attract women, didn't have a first date until 35, last one at 46, none were fun, and I accepted I'll never marry. At 67, it's been game over for years. My life got easier once I stopped believing I would marry. Yeah, it's just society constantly just pushes relationships on you. They push marriage because a lot of people they they feel like they cannot be secure unless they have a relationship or have a significant other. And I don't know, I don't feel like I or many other people are like that. I am very content being single with myself. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and you just always get people trying to push marriage on you. Like if you have family, like for example, I have 2 brothers who are married, and at almost every family event, there's always that question. I get asked it almost every time at one of these big family gatherings is, "So when are you going to settle down, or when are you going to find a girlfriend or get engaged or get married?" And I truthfully, I just want to just tell them, I just want to say I don't really care about that. I'm not looking for that right now. I'm stop trying to force something down my throat. I mean, just because you may not be secure being single doesn't mean that I'm insecure being single. I feel like that's another thing. I feel like these people who are married who or in relationships that keep trying to push a relationship on a single person. I think those people they're just so insecure. They can't fathom the thought of not being in a relationship with someone, and so they're projecting their own insecurities onto you. That's honestly what I feel like, because why else would they push so hard? If they were content being in their relationship, they wouldn't feel the need to try to pressure people who aren't in a relationship to be in one. I'm already used to being single. I was in a bad relationship about a year ago. I'm done getting my heart broken. The only times I was truly content in life was when I was single. Well, that's sad, but if you're content being single, that's how you gotta do it. I used to I used to bemoan my singleness, and now I love it. I spent more time in relationships wishing I was single than being single wishing I was in a relationship. The best arguments for singledom are the lives of married people. Amen to that. Amen. That's a really long comment. I'm not going to read that. Sometimes being alone is lonely, but being alone isn't as bad as wishing you were. And again, I would just say being actually alone versus being in a relationship and still feeling alone. I mean, I'd rather just be alone than be in a relationship and feel alone. The same thing goes for me with friendships or a group of people. If I am surrounded by other people and I feel alone or by myself, then I'd rather just be by myself at that point. Someone, so when are you going to settle down? Me, when hell freezes over. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to say. When hell freezes over. Or I want to tell them, well, when are you going to get divorced? It's just so intrusive. It's just so annoying. They just care so much about our relationship status. I don't care about other people's relationship status. That's something that's really trite to me and doesn't really have any significance. I don't care about somebody's relationship status, and nor should they really care about mine. But yet, people just seem to get all up in a wad about people who are single. It blows my mind. They care more than we do. The people who try to push or say we need to be in a relationship, they care more about us being in a relationship than we do. I don't know. It's weird. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to change. Yeah. It's better than being in a relationship. I don't have to justify why I'm single. Other people have to justify why they continually get into bad relationships that will never last. Yeah, I agree. I relate very viscerally with that. It's better to be single and happy rather than in a marriage that both couples are in. It's better to be single and happy rather than in a marriage that both couples are unhappy. I guess they meant we're in a marriage where both the couple is unhappy, one or both of them. Single means freedom, calm, peace, more cash, and more happy. Well, I'd have more cash if I wasn't unemployed, but yeah, that's a pretty true statement. If you're working and you're single, I've been single all my life, all 66 years, and loving it. It is indeed better to be single than having a depressed married life. That's so true. So true. It's almost just what I'll say is also too, there's people who, and I'm not saying that everyone who's in a relationship or married is like this, but I've encountered a lot of people who are in relationships that they get so joined together where it's almost like they're joined at the hip and they can't do anything apart from each other, and they have to be with each other every second, like, or they're gonna act like they're gonna die. And I'm over here like, you're still your own individual people. You don't have to be joined at the hip and do every single little thing together. I think in healthy marriages, the partners realize they can go do their own thing separately and they don't have to be constantly with each other. I mean, it's healthy, you know, if there's a man and a woman married, it's important for the man to have time where he hangs out with a guy friend or hangs out with a few other men, and vice versa for the women to go hang out with other women. You don't have to be around a single person constantly. And whenever I see that, to me, it kind of just, it's a little creepy. I don't know. I've always been that way, even with people who I am very close with and family and other people. I mean, there's still times where I'm like, okay, I want to go do my own thing. I want to just be by myself or do whatever. I don't feel the need to constantly be around them. But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Bye.